hey, this is a title that I've seen get clicks, and I'm slopping it. I'm slopping it. You. I shouldn't swear. Oh my God, please bleep that.
A better you starts today.
So, anyway, after insulting you, just know that I do have advice on this. Why? Because I've read the greats. And I have one piece of advice that I need to share with you that I'm going to be doing a whole seminar on. Where am I going to be doing it? Melbourne, Sydney, Perth? Who knows? Make sure that you sign up to them, though. It's always a pick and mix, and it's always a pig and mix. And when I, it is a good night out. Trust me. So sign up to that. You will learn things. And you will actually act on it, because that's what happens when you go to seminars. You think, damn it, I went all this way. It's time for me to live. So, here's what I want you to understand. There is one sure way to waste your life. One sure way. One guaranteed way that you are going to go back, look at your life, and think, that wasn't well lived. And we know this from study after study after study after study. It is regret. Regret. This is a great slogan of this channel. Embarrassment weighs an ounce. Regret weighs 1,000 tons. Embarrassment weighs an ounce. Regret weighs 1,000 tons. There is nothing that is going to drain on your psychology more than the missed opportunities in life. We are all going to have them. Every single person ever, no matter how far they push the envelope, is always going to think, oh, I really should have skydived from 5 feet more in space onto Earth. Oh, maybe I bitched out on that one. They're always going to be thinking these things. Always. But I have a question for you. How many have you already accrued? Because if you're in your 30s, there are some people that are going to have way more regrets than the other people that don't. And you start seeing it, and it starts playing in your head. This is another reason why I want you to subscribe to this channel, because if you don't, you are going to turn out like one of those people that I know, because we are now far from high school, and I know that they were all promising individuals. Now you can really see what has happened as a result of their trajectories in life. And one thing that I can guarantee you, that every single person that enjoys their life, or at the very least is proud of what they have done with their life, it always comes down to one thing. I want you to write this down. Regret comes from indecisiveness. Write it down. Regret comes from indecisiveness. Damn! I'm dropping dimes tonight! I'm pretty proud of that one. The reason that I'm proud of it is every single time you fail to make a decision in life, and I've got the seminar, again, I'm going to be doing a seminar on how to make better decisions. But, and I'll give you this piece of advice for free right now, any decision is better than no decision. Why do you think that there is an inherent advantage, and you see this a lot? Say Trump, for instance, just classic ADD. There is a bunch of people that I see constantly that have ADD that are very annoying people. Not just annoying, damaging. It's kind of just walking around a cyclone. And yet they are killing it in life. Why is that? Because they are acting. They are creating mess. Things start happening. Activity happens when decisions are made. If there is no decision to be made, if there is no action, then everything stays as it is. It is an irrefutable law of the universe. We all know this. If nothing happens, everything stays the same. This is why they start moving ahead in life, because no one else has the guts to do something. Now, there's better ways of doing these things. For instance, I have a friend, I didn't see him in 10 years. Tony Robbins, the guy, was one of my most proud moments in life. And I owe it all to this channel, I'm telling you now, which is another little secret for life, by the way. It's just that, start something, it just starts building. It just becomes part of your habit, and then you just keep it forever. This was something that I started years ago. It has now become monetizable for me, and it's really good for me, and it's really good for you. This is all just a win-win. It is all a net positive. Why? Because I decided to make a second channel one day. That was it. And imagine if I didn't. Imagine if I just stayed on indecision for a while. I would eventually talk myself out of it. That is always what happens when you stay in indecision. You sit there, and this is so weird how the brain works. You will find reasons to justify not doing anything, so you stay exactly where you are. Isn't it terrifying? Now, let's talk about this. When you are in that inanimate state, what is changing about your life? What precisely? That's right. Nothing. Nothing is changing in that state. Now, let's assume that you made, within reason, not going out and murdering a child. Murdering a fully grown adult, I think, is within the reasonable bounds. But let's say that you decided to take any action on the thing that is niggling on your mind right now. Say that you wanted to go buy an ice cream, and then you sat there and went, don't know what to do. Nothing's going to happen there. What about if you go down and you look at a street and nothing happened, right? Like you just went to another street and there's no corner store there. As a result of that, what has happened? In the process of walking, you've probably forgotten about wanting to have an ice cream. You're probably just thinking, oh, I need to go on a walk today. And then as a result of that, you're getting vitamin D, you're clearing your head, and you're getting more exercise. Something happened. You didn't get the desired result that you wanted, but you got something. In fact, you probably got something better. This is the other thing that starts happening, because when you take action, you are starting to go against the bounds of reality. And instead of you just sitting there and thinking about, oh, I just wish that reality was like this, you actually start testing what reality is like. That's the main reason that you need to do this. This is another reason why you need to sign up to Jordan Shanks, because I will be forcing you. This is the whole thing. We know this over and over again. What gets people to act? Motivation. We know that as just as fact of life. What gets people to act? Getting people to go, yeah, I better do it. Or just being like, do it now. You're like, oh, I got to do something. That's the whole reason. That's why everybody that signs up to Jordan Shanks is always saying, oh my God, my life changed so much as a result of it. Why? Because I'm forcing you to act. Your own brain is stopping you from acting. I am just an external force yelling out the brain that is going, oh no, I think maybe we should just wait and do some more planning. Like, no, do it now. That's why you need to sign up to that. That's why you need to come to seminars as well. It's basically just because of that. And if somebody else does that for you better, go to them. But let's just go back to this. The way that I Tony Robbins, my friend, out of this is he wanted to change careers. I hadn't talked to the guy in like 10 years. We decided to meet up. We're having a chat. We're reminiscing on the good old days. And I said to him, are you happy with your life right now? And he said, yeah, happy enough. And I said, well, is that good enough, really? Like, you've got one of these. Are you happy enough with your life as it is? And he said, I can deal with it. Like, okay, first off, if you are in that realm right now, you need to subscribe to this channel or self-help. If you are just one of these people that's just like, oh, I'll just get by. Getting by is just coping. It is coping in life. It is a sad place to be. You can be aiming for so much better than that. But anyway, I'm going on and I'm talking to him, and it suddenly goes out like, yeah, I really need to change jobs. I hate my job at the moment. And then why does he do it? For the same reason that everybody else does. This man is motivated by certainty, i.e. security, and security is within that job. And I said, well, let's just think about this for the next 40 years. If you do nothing, this is your life. This is your legacy. Will you look back on that and will you be proud? Or will you be filled with regret? And it immediately hit him. Regret. And so on that day, he decided to make the decision. Now, to get to where he is now in his new career path, that was a 2-year decision, right? That was a 2-year course of action. It took him from that moment to say, no, I'm not going to put up with this. I am going to go into another field of work. It took him 2 years to get there. But he's there. This is the whole point. If he didn't make that decision back then, he would still be at that job. Think about that for a second. Decisions completely change your life. Indecision doesn't. Indecision leads to regret. You will come up with all kinds of excuses. I do it all the time. I teach this stuff. I still make this mistake constantly. I still have a bunch of regrets. However, I have far less regrets than the average person. In fact, you want to know my definition of a successful person? It's a decisive person. It's somebody that just puts a line in the sand and says, I'm going to move here. Now, you can move there slowly, or you can move there quickly, or you can make a better decision or a worse decision. I just want you to make more decisions. Indecision equals regret. Regret is going to waste your life. You will waste your life. And they start weighing on themselves. This is the worst part. You go to people that have just lived with a life of regret and they're in their 40s and it's all they know. And so they keep making more regretful decisions. When you know a different world, when you know that, oh, when I actually took action, it didn't turn out that way, but I did get something out of it and I'm in a different place and I'm better for it. And, I rubbed up against reality and my character was built as a result of that. These people look back at their lives and they're proud. Why am I proud every time that I look back at my life? There's one thing that you can say, right? Okay, I traded in my 20s for no fun, no games. It was actually just hell, frankly. Like, a lot of it was just really, really unpleasant. But I have done things that the average person will never, ever do. Like, I can rest my laurels at night and say, I have profoundly changed the destiny of this entire country through devoting myself to public service. And that gives me something that no one can ever take that away from me. But it all started with the decision. It all started with the decision that I'm not going to waste my life. I am not going to be another statistic. I am not going to be another leech. I am going to contribute. And the reason that I wanted to contribute is because you know from study after study that is going to give you personal peace and satisfaction in life. You can get there as well. The only reason that you aren't there, less decisions than a person that took to go there. Yeah? The difference between a successful and an unsuccessful person is being more decisive. How do you get more decisive? Well, you're going to have to come to my seminar. Or you're going to have to buy it online. There's other ones online at the moment at friendlyjordies.com. Sign up to Patreon as well. But I'm telling you now, just knowing that one piece of information, write it down, start making a habit of this, make it a mantra in life. Indecisive people are people with lives filled with regret. That is a failed life. Anyway, hope I've scared you enough.